Once upon a time, there was a princess born with magical powers that kept her from misfortune. At that time, there was a prophecy from the dwarf that the country was going to encounter misfortune. No one knew it before. No one knew who the evil dwarf was. Upon hearing the story of the princess' magical powers, the dwarf then planned to kidnap the princess and gave it to the master. Every time the dwarf would bring an item to his master, he would be able to ask him for what he wanted in exchange.
Amid the shock of the townspeople and the queen mother and king father, the princess thought she was the city's stink. So she secretly went to the dwarf in the middle of the night to ask for advice. The dwarf made an offer to take her out of the city to find a helper outside the city, but she must keep it a secret. The princess asked for time to think. The next day, the princess returned to the dwarf again to accept the offer. Before leaving, the dwarf, who was the shoplifter, stole the pig in the city.
Late at night, the dwarf took the princess out of the city, traveled together for several days, and when they approached the destination, the dwarf told her to stay overnight in the middle of the forest. The princess asked to sleep next to a tree not far from the dwarf. While the princess was sleeping, the lobber dwarf, who thought the princess was asleep, started to talk about the bad thing they had done, and talk about what to ask from the master when the princess was taken.
When the princess heard the whole story, she had no idea what she was facing if she can make up her mind. So the princess fell asleep and waited for all the dwarfs to fall asleep. She secretly escaped in the middle of the night. The princess ran away in the forest for several days and still could not find a way out. The princess became discouraged. Suddenly, the princess met a man who looked a little older than her.
She did not know that the man was the lord of the dwarf in disguise. The princess was very happy to meet other people who seemed to be able to help her. The princess told the man the whole story. The man volunteered to help the princess travel back to the city. After that, the princess and the man fell in love with each other. But the master in disguise came to the princess. He cursed her that when she fell in love, she would eventually die with her loved one.
The princess decided to tell the man the truth. But when both of them fell in love with each other, they prepared their heart to die with each other. The couple spent time together in the forest until one day the man got sick and the symptoms worsened. At that moment, the princess was always by his side until the man finally died. When the man died, he returned to his original form. The princess did not regret being in love with the man. Then the princess died too, following the man, following the curse. Even though both of them were dead, the love between them remained forever.